Welcome to Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw, where you can listen to your favorite performers talk about their career, how they got started, and everything in between. Make sure to follow me at Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw on Instagram and also my main Broadway account at Broadway_Corner for updates on new episodes. Hope you enjoy! Hi everyone, welcome back to Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw. I am so happy you are here. And today I'm speaking to someone who's played a tap dancing Mormon, a botanical genius, and is absolutely the best song coach in the world. It's Josh Daniel.
Hi!
Josh, we're so happy to have you.
Oh my goodness, Ashley, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud of you for all the hats you wear, and this is certainly one of them. So I'm so excited.
Yes, and for some background, I did obviously make an intro for Josh. So Josh Daniel was born and raised in New Orleans, and this was the first town he ever got paid to sing in. At age 7-ish, he sang Orange Colored Sky in the French Quarter with a shoebox, and he once made $156 in 5 minutes doing it, which is extremely impressive at
Very.
that.
That is no longer my rate, but yes.
A bit higher now, and
Yeah.
then went into train in Cincinnati, and he's a proud alumni of CCM, where he made lifelong friends, learned lifelong lessons, and gained a lifelong hatred of Skyline Chili, which I didn't know that until I saw it on your website. And he's been in New York, I think, 10 years now, right?
10 years,
Your
yes.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Like I said, been a tap dancing Mormon, an incredulous improviser, a writer, a song coach with MTCA, who we love, uh, a community organizer and co-founder of Indivisible Harlem, and most recently, a citizen of Skid Row over at Little Shop of Horrors Off-Broadway, which is where we met. So,
Indeed.
hi,
Absolutely.
Josh.
Hi, Ashley. Oh my God. Yeah, you covered all the bases. Excellent.
Josh is very, very good at making sure that I can find all these little things about him on his website. So I'm ready to introduce him whenever. I mean, just, find me on the street. I'll tell you everything. Uh, so, hey, Josh, how are you? I feel like
Oh, I'm
it's been months since we've seen each other, like on Zoom or in person.
correct. Yes, too long. Yes, I'm good. It's a beautiful Sunday in New York City, and I'm so excited to be chatting with you, and I'm really good. Can't complain.
Yeah. So, well, we kind of know where you started, I guess, with the little shoebox. Um,
And a fun fact: it was to give more context. It was a K-Swiss shoebox, and I wrote it sort of opened up. It was connected in the back, and I wrote on it, "If you like the sound, stick around. If you got a zip, leave a tip." And
oh,
that was my little tagline, and hey, it worked. Orange colored sky. It's
yeah.
still that was my big hits, and it was a boy soprano just I was walking along my day, just but
It was,
it worked.
you were hustling from the very beginning.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and so, I mean, starting at the beginning, like, when did you discover musical theater, Broadway? Was it something that has always been with you, or was it something that you found a little bit later?
Yeah, great question. It has sort of always been with me. My mom, in a very maudlin sort of mom way, is always you know what? Joshua sang his ABCs in opera. I was singing, basically from the jump, and
Hmm.
um, got into choir and did this sort of thing, and I, grew up in the church and would sing at church, and yeah, and then my first musical, it was The Wizard of Oz. I played a Munchkin, a Winky, and a dancing stalk of corn. Um, and this is before corn was cool because shucked wasn't even an idea yet.
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
uh,
you should reprise your role now. They should
absolutely,
call
yes.
you soon.
If the casting directors and producers of Shucked the musical are listening, I'm ready and available to sing about corn at your earliest convenience. Um, but yeah, and I fell in love with it, and I kind of started to do it. I mean, I started doing summer camp every summer and started singing, and I think that was sort of when it was oh, whoa, Josh really has this voice, and I started taking voice lessons, and then went to an arts high school in New Orleans. I always said that I went to an all boys Catholic high school and an arts high school, so I had guilt and freedom at the same time.
Oh my God.
Um, And yeah, and then that's really where I sort of like introduced like dance and acting into my sort of like, toolbox as well, and just fell in love with the art form even more. And yeah, I mean, sort of have been doing it from the jump. I'm really, really lucky to be in this tradition of musical theater folk. It's been a sort of like it has always been for as long as I've known what my identity is or what an identity is. It has been a part of mine, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't know that you went to an arts high school. I mean, so many people obviously start there and then go on to train at, musical theater college.
Uh-huh.
They go to musical theater Broadway school, is what some people say about it. Um, but I mean, I've never really asked you too much about what your college experience, like audition experience, was like. I mean, you went to CCM, which now
Mhm.
is one of like, I mean, it's always been one of the greatest schools that people are just dying to get into. So many people's dream schools. Like, did you have something like MTCA to help you through? I mean, you went to an arts high school, or were you just kind of going it, just diving headfirst and trying?
Yeah, I mean, like I guess MTCA must have existed, but I didn't. Or maybe honestly it was like in its like very early infancy. Because MTC is almost 20 years old, and that's, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Wow. Um, but no, I mean, I had my arts high school, so I had sort of that infrastructure around me. Um, I'm a total musical theater nerd, so like as far as like rap and songs, I was like really, I vividly remember my arts high school had a library where, and there was in the library there were these three actually massive metal cabinets of just CDs of musicals, and you could take home two every day and three on the weekends. And I would just take home two every day and three on the weekends my entire time there, and just like listen and add them to my iTunes. It was a different time. We added songs to iTunes. It was um and yeah, and then I had an amazing mentor, Blake Kohili at Noka, and I had an amazing voice teacher, Ron Birmingham, who had previously taught at Noka but was teaching privately when I took with him, who really were so fundamental, especially in the college process, especially Ron, so amazing and fundamental in my prep and my journey and my,
Mhm.
um, and yeah, so I didn't have like a song coach, but I had sort of like basically a sort of like a la carte MTCA
Yeah, yeah,
experience,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And yeah, and then I auditioned for 7 schools, which was a lot back then.
Yeah. Compared to now, I've heard some people got up to like 50, which
Yeah,
how the heck you do that? I did
it
14,
gets
but yeah.
really, really wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, I auditioned and did Unifieds, did the whole thing, and made friends that like I literally still know from having met at Unifieds. And yeah, went to CCM, and the rest is history. It's I talk a lot about this. I mean, I'm such a proud alum of CCM. I I've met truly lifelong friends that I'm still, or some of my best friends in the world are my classmates and sort of like litter mates from the time I was at school. And I'm going to like 5 of their weddings this year. Like, I'm just in my class alone. Like, it's like really, truly family.
Mhm.
And I yeah, it was an amazing time. I always said that CCM was the most amazing thing that I could never do again. And that, like, it's intense, it's tough,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
asks and demands a lot of you. But the great news is that you do the college thing once,
yeah.
and at least for when you're getting a BFA in musical theater, you do that one time. And I did it my time, and I'm really grateful for the time that I did it.
Mhm. Yeah, and for people listening, I mean, people that have gone to CCM have been like Christy Altomare and Betsy Wolf and like all these incredible people, and Josh, of course, who, are working, doing the thing and being amazing at it. And so, I mean, what's the most valuable thing that you took from your training at CCM?
It's a really good question. Most I think CCM is really big, and it's it's different than when I was there, right? Because these
Mhm.
schools, the schools change over time, and um, I'm a total Star Wars nerd, so any listeners who watched Andor will know that I'm quoting Andor when I say this, but like systems change or they die. You know what I mean? The schools should change and flow and ebb and flow over time, you know. I think what was really important at my time at CCM was integration. The integration of the act of singing, the act of acting, and the act of dancing all together, and all, you know, you were learning to act while you were in dance class, and you were learning how to use your body while you were in a scene study, and you were constantly, you know, just everything was integrated in service of the story you were telling. And that was a huge thing that I learned at CCM for sure, you know, and like how to, yeah, how to, you know, like I think like it's a triple threat school, whatever. And this is an audio visual, you know, this is an audio medium, so you can't see them doing big quotes or whatever. Like they really did put a lot of purpose into us growing in all three components of musical theater, and I think that's a big takeaway for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely. There's so much, some people are like, dancing is just dancing, but it's like, no, you have to tell a story through your dance, or like, what is it? You're just moving your body. Like, there
Right.
always has to be something that, is coming from whatever you're doing, whether it be singing, acting, or dancing. Like they all
Absolutely.
work together too. Uh,
Yeah.
and I literally just watched a few days ago. I did not know that you played Jack in Into the Woods at CCM.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I watched your little video because I was on your
Ah!
website. And if people listening, go watch it because it is just like it's so good. And all the other videos on the website too. But
Oh my God. I mean,
but
I mean, truly, I'm so young. It's so, but oh my God, that was such a dream experience with just like mega talented people. I mean, like, dear friends who were still, I mean, my friend John Riddle was Cinderella's prince, and he just closed
oh yeah,
his, the
Phantom.
last Raoul and Phantom, you know, like I mean, really just incredible. Katie Johanneman, Vicky Cook, Chris Blum, you know, Cassie Levine, just absolutely tremendous people in that production. So I'm very proud of it, and just truly LOL that that's still out in the ether around.
I mean, you put it out there, so
I know. It's baby Josh. It just feels like so. I mean, like, you know, you'll learn this, Ashley. I mean, like, you know, 10 years out from school, you look back and you're like, wow, like I was, you know, we all are those like little Russian dolls, right? That like get bigger and bigger, and like that version of a Russian doll is still here and sitting in front of this computer on Zoom today. But you know, that's also you know, we expand and we grow and we get new Russian dolls that we add, and it's funny. I think it's important to look back, but it's also important to not stare. You know what I mean? And like yeah. Anyway, I'm very proud of that production, and yeah.
yeah. No, I didn't realize. I mean, you were like climbing like so much and
Oh yes, yes, yes.
running around so much. I was like, what is happening? Like
Yeah,
so
a fun fact
active.
is that Aubrey Berg was directed that production. He was the Bubba. He was known as, you know, sort of was the sort of like famous like founder of, not founder, but like he's sort of who put CCM on the map as far as he was the head of the program. He directed that and was an amazing teacher. And but he at one point had a very weird voice and sort of talked like this. And he was like, and we were talking about that number, and he was like, Jack, can you do a cartwheel? And I was like, no, I will not be doing a cartwheel during Giants in the Sky. I will be singing F sharps, and that's what I'll be focusing on.
Yeah. No, in that number, you're just like running around. I'm like, how are you doing that? But
Timing and yes.
it was so fun. But I mean, I think when we were coaching one time, you told me that like CCM wasn't always like your dream school, but like how did auditioning for 7 schools, getting like all your results back, and then figuring out where you're gonna go, like what was kind of the trajectory of finding what is a good school for you?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, CCM was not, you know, my like ultimate dream school, and I obviously I've always knew it was an amazing school. It's the first musical theater program in America is CCM, and it it just was, I think I had heard a lot of things and like rumors, and like, you know, I was like, oh, like, you know, I'm a generally affable, effervescent person, and I heard it was a lot of like people who were really intense and cutthroat and mean and all this stuff. And I think I put a lot of purchase in that just because I had heard it in places and whatnot. And um after my college audition process, I was looking at the schools that I got into, and I was really lucky to have a lot of incredible options that I'm really, just great, or still to this day, just phenomenal schools that are, thinking about like Elon and Ithaca and Florida State University and just tons of just killer places to go to school. And yeah, I think that it was the minute that I set foot on campus at CCM, something just clicked. And I saw the freshman showcase for the year above me, which was, that class is like, Alicia Delarue just Eliza and Hamilton somewhere right now. I forget. I think if not on Broadway, on the road. I forgot.
So many productions. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my God. And Pierce Cassidy, John, I mentioned, just mega talents in the class above me that were so unique and so themselves and so special and like led with self in a way that was in defiance of all the rumors that I'd heard about CCM being this like, you're gonna go being a cookie cutter, blah 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 blah. It was so not what I saw that day, and I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely where I'm meant to be. And I was truly a school that I swore I would never go to. Is the reason that I performed on Broadway, and has been the launching pad for not just for my success, but like for my pursuit of continuing education in the city, and also just like having like a community of people here, that is so strong and so helpful in times that are tough.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've never talked about Book of Mormon except for the fact that your audition was really early that one time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I did the Book of Mormon for a little over 4 years. So I say I did just over 2 Mormon missions. I was the first actually Mormon replacement. I replaced Mike Schwitter on the road as the swing in the first national tour. And I was the swing, so I covered 7 different tracks.
Wow.
So played all the Mormons at some point. And it was an amazing experience. It was phenomenal to go and be on the road and see the country and to be a part of this incredible show that I love so deeply. That the book really did change my life, as the show as the show has said.
Yeah.
And yeah, I auditioned for it right after school, and I actually, in my senior showcase from CCM, one of my songs was "Turn It Off" from the Book of Mormon. And there was a casting director there, and that sort of started my process. And then I cut to me. I was in the room with Casey Nicola and the rest of the team, and put it on the sent me off, and bam, I was on the road in DC in July of that year.
Wow, that is a very quick process.
Yes.
My God. But going back, like what is to your coaching stuff? What is your biggest piece of advice for high schoolers who are, maybe not seniors yet, but who are going to be doing the audition process soon?
Totally. Yes. Like my biggest piece of advice that I always say, and I've said to you many times, but as a coach, I say this, is that like you really are going in for you and you, the musical. Like how can you're trying to book the role of Ashley and Ashley Ha, the musical, do you know what I mean, the Life and Times, and bringing a very strong sense of self to everything you do is crucial. It's so important. I can't overstate it. There are a lot of people who can sing. There are a lot of people who can dance. There are a lot of people who can act. Cool. Awesome. Great. How amazing that we're, and that's a good thing, right? It's good.
Yeah.
For me, high tides raise all ships. Like if everyone is performing at a level that forces me to rise to that level too. But what I think is really important to remember is that no one else on the planet has this secret weapon that you have, and that weapon is yourself. And I think that's what's so important to lead with in looking for rep and thinking about what is a conducive environment for me to learn in, because not every school is for everybody.
Yeah.
And then also having a support system, a team around you of people. Obviously, I'm not paid to say this, but obviously I work for MTCA, and I think like MTCA has helped just countless people, but like there are tons of places and ways to, just have people around you. You do not, you do not have to, nor should you choose to do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Know, there are people there who understand the process, understand the quirks of this journey, and understand like are also a benefit of being an MTCA coach is that I'm a working actor. I know what it's like to audition because I audition every day, and so yeah, I think those are two big things that come to mind.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you get started with MTCA? Because you are not, you did not work with them during your process, but how did you kind of find them after
Yeah,
graduated,
I
and when did you start working with them?
yeah. So when God, it was 7 years ago. A theater professional introduced me to Ellen Lettrick, who founded MTCA, who is phenomenal and is now the founder of TFCA, which is called the Fund for College Auditions, which is an amazing organization that raises money for folks who like otherwise wouldn't be able to like train and with an MTCA or an educational partner like that. Because if we want diversity and equity in our stages, like we need to fight for diversity and equity in our training programs.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a barrier because of just like hashtag America, in so many ways. And I think like TFCA is
Oh,
working to break down that barrier, which is like just really incredible.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and so I met Ellen, and then it sort of started the process. Ellen and I are still dear friends and text a lot about MTCAers after she does vocal assessments and whatnot. Um, yeah, and then I met Charlie and Leo and did a little like fake audition, basically. Sorry, you can hear sirens in the background. Just
Oh, I
the
can't hear, but that's
oh,
great.
good, good, good. Sorry, the New York City is New York Citying.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I met them, did a little. Oh, unfortunately, I forget I don't remember the name of the person that I coached, but I coached Where Am I Now from Liz Estrada Jones, and um, did a little live coaching on it, and then that started, and I've been song coaching ever since. So yeah, I think just to say out loud, I'm a song coach for MTCA, which means that I meet MTCAers who are auditioning for musical theater and also some acting programs. Start the journey, and I'm certainly just like a everyman kind of coach, but specifically focusing on the rep that we do for college auditions and then acting the song. So what does it mean to get up and to tell a story and to bring that sense of self to at least two pieces?
Yeah, yeah. And to clarify, MTCA is Musical Theater College Auditions,
Yes.
and they are a company that you go in, you get a full like kind of you get your your list of all your different coaches. You get song coaches like Josh, or you get a dance coach. Mine is Courtney Eccles, and then you have like a vocal tech coach, which is Alexa Green, also who went to CCM, and you get a monologue coach too, who is mine is Katie Hartkey. So, and you get to work with them, and then you can do mock auditions, you get to do different events, master classes with people from colleges. So just a little blurb in there. So if you're a kiddo, it's funny for me to say because I guess I am the kiddo too. But if you're, a high schooler who
I say like nascent, budding, young musical theater professional.
yeah, if you're someone who is going to be doing this process, you absolutely need to work with them because I have no idea where I would be if I didn't have them, like, especially Josh, like, because I'm attending Boston Conservatory. I don't know if I've said that yet on my
Ooh,
podcast, but yeah, so super
we're
excited.
debuting the news now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so exciting!
Yeah, so obviously I'll be heading off to college and I'll still be doing this podcast and, hanging out with people and, making sure I keep texting Josh all the time.
Yes,
And so that was our little blurb of why you should work with MTCA
yes.
if you're at the musical theater college, aspiring child. Um,
Yes.
and what is your advice, Josh, for people who are about to start their training like me? I'm about to start in the fall, so what did you do? What do you think you wish you knew? Just all that stuff.
I think the most important thing to remember is that it is that the journey never ends. I think when I got to school, I was like, amazing. Okay, great. I'm on this conveyor belt to success. And in 4 years, I'll be fierce and I'll be ready to work. And I had way more in my toolbox after 4 years than I did entering, and when I moved to Clifton Heights, Ohio. But like, uh, the really like the journey is the destination and the destination is the journey, and that your learning process never ends. I have learned so much in New York, as a performer, obviously, but even more importantly and more effectively for my performing as a person. I am I've learned so much from classes and teachers and experiences I've had after school, and obviously, like, it just never ends. You're not going to walk in and then suddenly in 4 years you're done. It's just,
Yeah, no,
we
definitely.
are constant. Your mentors have mentors, and they have mentors, and they have mentors, and they have mentors, and you're a part of this chain, this link, in this musical theater tradition, which is so amazing and special and storied. And I think too, like, having a healthy balance of deference and of skepticism at the same time. Not no school is perfect. But these schools are there and have been around for a long time for a reason,
Yeah.
that, like, you are there to learn and to absorb, and these are people who, like, have just been around in, like, on the stage longer than you've been on the stage, who, and you get the chance to learn from so many different people. Not every school is perfect, not every teacher is for you. So obviously a healthy dose of skepticism is important as well.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if this works for me. You know what I mean? There's a reason that there are multiple acting techniques, right? Like, I vividly remember studying Meisner in school, and some of my classmates were like, "Oh my God, wow, like, this is crazy." And I was like, "Nothing. I'm feeling nothing." Like, full
Yeah,
bananas.
yeah.
Like, and, like, you find what works for you, and that's the only right answer in acting is the one that works for you. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
those are some things that come to mind.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, be exactly what they're telling you. You can take it with a grain of salt. It's your journey. You're the one who's getting the training, and then you're eventually
Yeah.
be the one to do the jobs or, get cast on Broadway
Yes.
or do whatever. So, you can just listen to it, and then if you don't want it, then just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite like college memory or a role or experience that you'll never forget at CCM?
Oh my God, college memory is so tough. Um, I loved growing. My class was 16 people, and we were so tight knit. And I grew up with those people, and they saw me through so much, so many formative years, and vice versa. And so, like, that family is so special to me. It really truly feels like a family to this day. As far as roles, I played Jack in Into the Woods in college, and that was such a tremendous, tremendous experience. It's one of my favorite shows ever. The cast was insane. It was a celebration. This was back in, oh my God, it was 2011, 2012, 2012. And it was the 40th anniversary, right? No, it was an anniversary. Oh, no, 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 it was the 25th anniversary of the Chair of Musical Theater. The
Mm,
program, when my freshman year, was celebrating its 40th year. So, but it was a sort of celebration performance, and all the majors at CCM are amazing, and the tech is phenomenal, and the wardrobe department, costume, hair and makeup, everyone sort of came together and really poured their hearts and souls into it. And it was such a special production of such a perfect musical, that I'm so proud to have been able to. I'm very lucky to have gone into the woods. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's what comes to mind.
Yeah, I know. I know that's one of like my dream shows that I would love to be in since I haven't been in too many yet. But I mean, it's such a rich show, has so many different characters, so many different stories, and I mean, you could never really stop analyzing it because it's so detailed and so much
Right.
is there. And obviously I love the new revival of it. It's so good. Um, and I mean, now we got to talk about Little Shop just a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's where we met and where, I know you the most from. I saw you as Seymour. I wish I could have seen you as Oren because I kept telling my mom, I was like, I want to see what Josh is like when he's not the nicest person on earth. Like when you're being mean or in scribbling
Yes,
DDS.
absolutely.
And it's okay. I'll just have to, imagine it in my brain. But
I'll do it again somewhere. It'll be, yeah.
Yeah, if you got to be you were offstage singer, you would come hang out in your little window at the end of the curtain call. But
Absolutely.
what was it like understudying in Little Shop? You got to play like the two main, I guess, male roles, and um
Yeah.
how did you keep it in your brain? How did you like go through the scripts? Like what was just that process after you got the job and you got to work?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like as I said, I was a swing in the Book of Mormon, so covering wasn't new to me, and I honestly covering two tracks as compared to seven felt kind of like a walk in the park. um, but I yeah, it was such an amazing experience. I got to work with heroes, absolutely of mine. You know, people I still admire and look up to, and now I'm lucky enough to call friends. You know, Christian Borle is a class act, and just watching him work and then working with him is a constant masterclass. Um, Rob McClure, Jeremy Jordan, I mean all of them. Rob McClure, Jeremy Jordan, Conrad Kimura, Gideon Glick. You know, Matt Doyle is the current Seymour. I mean, Skylar Aston, and also like other covers who I've seen do the role. I mean, just like, you know, Evan Alexander Smith is amazing and a dear friend. Jeff Sears, I covered in the Book of Mormon, and then
Oh,
came
I
in
didn't
to
know
replace me.
that.
Yes.
I
And
recently
then
the last time I saw the show, I got to meet him, and because I had seen him
oh,
in December.
terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff's like a brother to me. I love him, and he's such a talent. And it was wild that I covered him then, and he covered me in this, and then replaced me, and
Oh my gosh,
it was
wow.
amazing. Um, yeah, it was. I love those roles so much. Seymour was a role I've always died to play. I didn't think playing Orin at all was in my future, and I'm so lucky and grateful to have had that experience. And I'm so it's a perfect musical
Mhm,
that I'm so proud of, and I'm proud of the work I did, and proud of my time there, and I'm grateful for having been a resident of Skid Row, and I'm excited for the next place I hang my hat.
mhm. Yeah, I'm excited too. But, like, okay, I have to ask, how did you manage like acting alongside Christian Borle without bursting out laughing and absolutely dying? Because I mean, when I saw you, I was in the very front row for the first time. It was insane. And also during the dentist scene, literally Christian and Josh like went mouth to mouth as Seymour and Oren. It was mind blowing, but it was so good. So like, how did you
Yes,
not?
I'm very proud to have gotten him. I got him to laugh one time in that scene, in that moment, which was maybe my the peak of my career. There were some moments where I mean, I'm human, so like especially at the end of Act One, it was hard to not laugh.
Yeah.
Because Christian is such a genius, and because we're friends, and so we got to just play with each other on stage, and um but yeah, I mean, but I think at the end of the day, he and I both know that it's about us having fun, but it's really about, the service of the story, and that, ensuring that the audience is the one that's laughing and having a great time. And um, but yeah, I mean, he will throw uh danger is in the air when Christian Borle is on stage in
Yeah.
that regard. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my
Like,
god. Yeah, no, because I don't know if I told you, but, like, that same summer when I saw you, I'd also seen Evan, like, before, and I remember there was this part, I think it's when Christian is, like, dying, I guess, like, Oren is dying on the floor, and Evan was just sitting in the dentist chair, like, trying not to laugh, and he kept turning to the side to, like, laugh, and it was just
yeah,
I was literally dying. I was imagining when I was watching you, I was like, "Is he gonna do that?" I was like, how do you do that?" But anyway,
100%.
it's such a genius scene, and I think
Yes,
every time I watch it, I like it never gets old, it really doesn't. Um,
but
and so now I have some rapid fire questions for you, just
great.
the little ones. So favorite role you've ever played?
Seymour,
If you weren't to play Seymour or Oren, who else would you want to play in Little Shop? Literally anyone.
Audrey.
I know. Oh yeah, you did Somewhere That's Green recently, so if
Yes, yes,
you're
yes, yes,
listening,
yes.
check it out on Instagram. Um, favorite song in your least favorite musical? I think Eli made this question and I stole it from a previous episode.
Favorite song in my least favorite musical?
Yeah, I don't know. Eli made this up. So.
Oh, that's really tough.
Uh,
Oh God. And it's in my least favorite musical,
yeah.
right? Oh my God, that's so hard, Eli. That's so tough. Favorite song? What is my least favorite musical? I don't know if I have an answer to that.
I know. I don't know how I would react either.
Really stumped by that. Favorite song? What is my least favorite? I guess I'm gonna go with. Oh my god! I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud because I have so many friends who've done it, and I think that
Scandal.
I guess She Used to Be Mine
Oh, from Waitress. Oh
from
my
Waitress.
God. Are you not a fan of Waitress?
It is not my favorite.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have
You need
loved.
to tell Eli
I
this.
know.
Eli is obsessed with Waitress.
I know. I think I'm gonna go She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. And Sarah Bareilles, if you're listening, I love you and you're phenomenal. And I truly, you're incredible.
I mean, I'm sure so many people also every year are doing She Used to Be Mine for college auditions. Like, not gonna say
Yes.
do it, but don't do it. Please don't do it. You gotta find something else. Especially at our
Yes.
age. At our age, should not be singing that song. But
Correct.
yes. Okay, next one. I got least favorite song in your favorite musical. This is also Eli question. So what is your favorite musical?
That is really, really hard. Um, uh, Little Shop is one of them, so I'm gonna use Little Shop. And I think my least favorite song is Everything's So Good. How do I ever pick? Oh my God. I guess I was gonna say Mushnik and Son, but that song slaps, but I guess I'll
That
go
song
with
is
that.
good. No, I think if it were me choosing from Little Shop, it would probably have to be just like Close for
Close
Innovation
for
or
Innovation. Just
something.
kidding. No, Close for Innovation. No one likes
Like
that
that
song.
one's fun, but I don't. It's like out of all the Little Shop songs, if you had to pick one that was your least favorite, like that
Yes.
would be it. Like it's a bop, but still, like I mean, also Mushnik and Son is a total bop, and it's so funny to watch. Like you or like Evan because he's so incredibly tall doing like the dancing.
Yes. Oh my God, 100%.
Just like a fun number. Yeah, and then first Broadway show you saw post shutdown.
Oh my God, I don't know that I. Well, it was in title of show
Hmm.
post shutdown. An amazing production out here in the city. But first time I saw.
Because mine, I think, was Jagged Little Pill coming back.
Oh my God, I don't remember. I'm so used to seeing. I was in Little Shop, so I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
what?
know. I guess I'll use title of show as the one I was in back when I was back.
Yeah, and what's the most recent Broadway show that you saw? Just Broadway show.
I just saw. Well, I saw Titanic off Broadway, which was phenomenal. Go see it. It's my cheeks hurt. I was laughing so hard. And then I recently saw Shucked on Broadway with my best friend Gray Henson, who's starring as Storyteller 2 in a phenomenal production.
Yeah, no, that's one of the best. I mean, my last Broadway show was Parade, and then last off Broadway show was Little Shop, of course.
Of course. Oh my parade is
I've made it a tradition. I don't know if I told you, but ever since 2021, um
uh-huh.
every single trip to New York has included Little Shop, pretty much.
Phenomenal. I mean, how could you miss it? It's a perfect production of a perfect musical.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, how can everyone continue with your journey, follow you on social media, kind of plug yourself, but you know, self-promotion, I guess,
Oh
in a
my God, I love you, Ash.
way.
No, I mean, hey, I'm Josh Daniel. It's my name. Two first names, but it worked for Meg Ryan. I am, um, yeah. Hey, Josh Daniel online. And yeah, I mean, I'll be sure to keep. I'm trying to be better about posting on social media and stuff. Ashley, friends like Ashley will help me be better about that. And yeah, I'm here, and I love doing this. I love coaching. I love performing. I love being a part of this musical theater community. It is my favorite community I'm a part of, and I'm very grateful, deeply grateful.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Josh, for being here. We finally made a little pod happen to kind of wrap
Woo!
up our little college audition experience too. And yeah, I'm just so incredibly thankful to have you as my coach, as a friend, as a mentor, just someone that, is always gonna be there for me, I guess.
Always, always,
Um,
always.
and yeah, I'm just so glad that you're doing well, that you get to be in so many freaking weddings. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, I'm just thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone who's listening. Make sure to follow Josh at Hey Josh Daniel. I always like whenever I message you, I'm always like, Hey Josh, like
Up, Daniel.
every time. I always think of that. And yeah, thank you for everyone listening. Follow me at Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw, Broadway_corner, whatever. Ashley Lauren Haw is now my new username for me. So just on everything. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for
Hey, thank you,
listening.
Ashley. I'm so proud of you. Love you. Mwah.
Yay.
Bye.
You've been listening to Broadway Corner with Ashley Haw. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.